In 1994, I have decided to leave my job as a dean of Tel Aviv University Law School and establish the first private university in Israel.
Professor Reichman one day called me up and asked me to come and see an old military base which I knew from the days I was in the army. And I said, "What for?" He said, "Come and see it and then we'll talk." And I went with him, I saw the base, and he said, "Here there's going to be a library, here there's going to be a faculty of law, it's going to be a big university." I must say that I thought he was a little crazy at the time.
Some of my closer friends came to me and suggested that I should take a vacation. Perhaps I was too long a time without a vacation.
When Professor Reichman showed me all this desolation, and I thought that I have to resign my tenured position at NYU in order to join this shack, the thought was quite frightening.
Part of the ideology was that we asked the Israeli government for one favor only, the right not to take the money. So we had to rely entirely in the beginning on donations.
Walking around the campus with Ariel Reichman, I got really excited because I felt like I found my next big project. And it was very important for me to support something that I truly believe in and something that has great vision. And coming to IDC, I found it.
The only way to change things is through education.
I believe that the time has come to produce a major change in the landscape of Israeli academia.
IDC stands for Interdisciplinary Center. Today's world, unlike the world of 30, 40 years ago, is not content with specialization. You need something much wider.
Students need to have a multidisciplinary approach to life. There's no such thing as law alone. Law is an empty vessel, and that empty vessel has to be filled with knowledge of philosophy and psychology and economics.
It's really the best facilities to study anywhere I've seen.
I think that the staff here is something that's outstanding.
They're just in a league of their own.
All the faculty members at IDC are internationally recognized scholars. And as such, we have great relationships with the best universities in the world.
This is the only place where young people, Jews and non-Jews, can come to Israel and live and study here.
You get to listen to all the perspectives of the people sitting in your class, which are people from 5 continents, from many countries in the world.
It was clear that the university has to be based on excellence in teaching and research. But beyond that, my vision was to educate the future leadership of our country.
The most important thing that we look for in students is intellectual curiosity. To ask questions, not to take anything for granted, and to be skeptic.
The students at the IDC, from what I see, are top quality. The young kids there are amazing, true leaders of the future.
Leadership means several things. It means a vision, means professionalism and strong character. It has to do with integrity, and perhaps the most important element is the ability to communicate with others.
Being an IDC graduate means that you are a leader. You go ahead. You don't follow the fold.
More than 30 companies were started up by graduates of my school.
So the IDC, you are getting a certain added values that contribute you much more when it comes to a managing position. They encourage you to think that you are big as the idea that you are trying to serve.
The IDC Herzliya provides for you all the tools that you need in order to succeed. It is up to you if you take them or not.
I don't think you can be a great leader without values. The value of giving back to the community, the value of being part of a community, part of a country, part of a world.
There's no need to compromise between being a superb student and a really good human being. You can be a superb student and not compromise academically, but still maintain high values, high levels of enthusiasm about how you want to contribute to the world, and I've seen both.
I think just walking around and listening to the people and hearing to what the students have to say, there's much more of a strong push on values, on ideals.
When I started to study here, the first words I heard was freedom and responsibility. You have freedom to do whatever you want. On the second hand, you have responsibility to help the others, the society.
We have a program helping every 6th student with scholarships. We made it a policy that no one will be turned away because that person doesn't have enough resources to pay for his tuition.
There's a quote that talks about teaching, and it says, the mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the great teacher inspires. And I think this quote really represents what Professor Reichman did here in the IDC.
Harvard and IDC have in common wonderful students, a wonderful faculty, a beautiful physical environment. But the differences are, for Harvard students, many of the issues that we discuss are abstract, intellectual issues. For many of the students at the IDC, these are the issues they're living every day. And so the students are more engaged.
The country is not perfect. As any other democratic country, we have problems and issues, social issues that we need to deal with. And I hope that I would have the opportunity to come and to push it harder in order to make it happen.
If the next 15 years will continue the same way, I'm sure that we will have an impact on the future of our society.